Hey guys, I'm back. I didn't expect to be back actually, but I did see this price action that I had to get in on. Um, just want to say it's a massive breakout of the day. It's a very important breakout actually, all things considering. Because look at the amount of volume that we had accumulated and the strength of this breakout to the upside. I got in around here earlier, got out at around 80, 90, around this area, and then I got back in on 4 contracts. You just need to monitor what happens here. Above VWAP, we're still fine. So interestingly enough, I think ES still has the potential to go test the IB high. For Nasdaq, it seems that the IB low could be that resistance, the value area high, this area. Now, important to know that if we do break this initial balance low at any point today before the market closed, if we break this initial balance low, there is a very high probability that we do a full retracement today. But let's not forget that we have value area high and we've had such a big selling day today. So anything can happen. It's just I'm very wary that you have a lot of trap traders here. So let's continue to monitor this price action. let's be pretty careful here. 90 should hold. This zone should at least provide a bounce back up. If not, then could get quite nasty. Touch of the IB low could provide support. This zone here has a lot of trapped traders that might want to start buying so that they can get out. Unless we got a really nasty dip down here all the way back down to value area low. Oof, that would be terrible. Now what would be really bullish is if we literally test the high over here. Do we test the high over here? You can probably chase the market at that point. That would be a very, 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 very bullish sign because everybody who didn't get out at that point is most definitely going to have to get out here. There's no way that anybody's going to be holding on to their trades past this point. Probably make lows off of this actually. You don't want to see this curl back down the initial balance. You want to see the IB low act as a support at this point. Otherwise, this becomes a big head fake, and you're in trouble essentially. This becomes a big fake out because a lot of the volume that's built in here is going to get out of their trades. Also notice that there's a low volume zone here, right, where price doesn't really like to trade in. So you come back down here, it's a lot more difficult to get back out of there, out of that zone. That's nice. You like to see that. You like to see that. You want to see that. I want to see if we can actually make a push higher from here, or if this is just going to get rejected off of 90. 90 is the place. 90 is the price to watch out for. Getting some sort of rejection off of 90, don't like to see that. You want to see another push. You just want to see a push. So whatever happens from here is interesting. If we break above 90, we go higher. If we break below 74, 75, we go lower, and this trade is no longer valid for the continuation up. Seems to me like we are finding some support, or we're building volume to go lower. That's not something that I can actually predict, unfortunately. Um, Everything does tell me that it is a very bearish day. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's a very bearish day. It's possible that what we're trying to do is we're trying to build volume at this area, see the VPOC go higher um, before we can make our push higher. That is very, very possible we can do that. Let's see. So volume at, yeah, so volume at this price stops around here at the VPOC. Yeah, that's where VPOC is at 1260. It's around here. We are trading at 1283, so we're trying to build volume. I would imagine we're trying to build volume for us to push higher. If we get rejected off of this, then yes, we're definitely going lower. Um, but for now, it's too early to tell. Take a look at what this looks like on the daily. We are very bearish on the daily, but that doesn't necessarily mean we can close on a full candle. You can probably get an indecisive candle, maybe a half close candle. A lot of possibilities for today. Heavy selling coming in. So an attempt to break higher, as you guys can see from the volume, from the positive delta that's being accumulated over here, could be seen as absorption, but at the same time, the selling down here could also be seen as absorption as well. So this range over here is quite important to watch out for. A break above and a fake down is very bearish. A break above and a test is okay. Same thing for the opposite end. I think if we break down below and then we get back into this, that's very, very bullish. Um, we just want to see a nice clean break to the upside at the very least. I think that would let us know what markets intend to do. We're below VWAP, so it's funny because we're below VWAP on Nasdaq, we're above VWAP on ES, right? These two are not necessarily identical, but they are equities and they do move I would say similarly, and they have been moving similarly today. It's just there have been some discrepancies, and I think you can take advantage of some of these discrepancies as we saw earlier, where you could be buying as Nasdaq is making new lows while ES is struggling to make new lows, right? And there are certain things that if you keep your eye open, you'd be able to take advantage of some of these moves. Try to break VWAP now. I think if we break VWAP, we could potentially test the last swing high. So, like I said, I don't want to see us break above and then come back down. I think that would be very bearish. And I would not like that at all. And my trade wouldn't like that at all as well. Typical fucking Nasdaq, these fake outs, I swear. I feel like every time there's a fake out, I'm very tempted to fade it because the opposite side could be very aggressive. Like, just watch, just watch. So come back down, shake everybody out, and then go lower. Like, this is so fucking typical of equities. Very tempted to go short here simply because of that. Or you just shake out people from both sides. Like, it's an attempt by buyers to push higher. It's an attempt by sellers to push lower. It's like you want to buy down here, you want to sell up here, you know. Very big rejection. Need to see the response here by buyers because this was quite the big rejection. Maybe you get a shakeout from here, don't know. We technically didn't break out of this, right? So oh, that's good. That's good. I guess that's good. I don't know at this point. Maybe we just stay within this range, right? Maybe market's just saying, hey, we don't want to break higher. We don't want to break lower. But this double structure is good. I think this is very bullish because of the trap traders that are down here. This I would say is quite bearish, but you have volume here, you have volume here. So it's not a full P, right? This is like a full B. And when you reverse a full B like this, I say watch out. When you reverse like a D like this, it's not really much. So I wonder if we break out from here, and I think it seems to me like we're trying to break out. I just don't want to see this come back down. This could get aggressive, like I said. I want to see a test of the IB high on ES, and I want to see a test of the IB low on Nasdaq. Like I said, if we break this IB low, I don't want to make any claims because I think it's really crazy to make claims like this. But if we break this IB low, watch out for the IB high. Just watch out. Resistance here is normal because of this zone here. Right? That is very normal around midpoint. So it's nice to see this get resisted and then not even like bounce back from it too much. You know, you want to see a very shallow pullback and then a continuation. You want to see another shallow pullback, that's okay. A lot of two-way transacting going on, but the final move needs to be to the upside. Otherwise, you get a lot of two-way, and if this comes back down to 95, I think I'm going to have to get out because I don't want this to come back down to 95. I wouldn't like this to come back down here. You're going to get so much. Then you're going to create a new range. You're going to create a range between here, and I don't want to be in the middle of it. Technically speaking, this range that we're looking at, my entry is midpoint. Well, a little bit below midpoint. Like this range that you're creating here. My entry is right below midpoint. So technically speaking, it should bounce off of, right. It should literally bounce off of here. The attempt is there though, you know, not gonna lie, the attempt is right there. You can't deny that. Imbalance over here, stops got taken out, right? But we go below this, don't like it. I don't like it at all if we do that. You don't want to retrace more than 50% of that move. You just don't want to. You retrace more than 50% of that move, then it's like, are the buyers really in control? You want to see pure control by buyers. From here to here, that's 50%. That's great. See, that's 50% move. This tells me that, you know, there's a potential to go higher. Test, you know, here, test here. Midpoint seems like a pretty good area, actually. I like the odds of midpoint over here between the IB high and IB low more than I like the odds of the IB high, simply because this is a very bad, like this is very bearish right here. It's going to take a lot to unwind. Right, it's going to take a lot to squeeze everybody out. Looks a bit messy here, but just know, I want to erase this, erase this. Oh no, wait, no, not that. But I want to erase this. Come on, I'm going to get stopped for sure. Definitely getting stopped out of this one, but that's okay. Did you see how I didn't manage that risk? How I screwed up and didn't manage that risk there? Like I was watching, so it's funny because I was watching ES while I was trading Nasdaq. For some reason, I think it's I have this feeling that I'm gonna get stopped out and it's just gonna go. So 38% seems interesting here to me because it's the midpoint of this and this, right? But at this point, I feel like at this point, I just feel tired. I've been staring at the screen all day, and I went from a pretty negative day to a decently positive day. I'm not going to say it's a good day, but to go from a negative day to a positive day, I think is fine. Like it's more than fine, really. Oh, you son of a bitch! Really? Is it really going to bounce off of here and then potentially make new highs? No, I'm not in Florida. I'm not in Florida. I'm in Montreal, Canada. These screens are getting too messy. I don't like when I have too many lines on this screen. I'm glad, dude. I hope he was a good friend, though. Oh my god, I got stopped out. I put my stops at the worst places. I need to really figure this out. Oh, that's quite bullish now. Look, point of control back into the initial balance. We're building volume here now. We couldn't make new lows. Now we're building volume higher. I don't want to chase this. I really don't want to chase this. And I don't want to be caught chasing on stream. But I am tempted. Oh, I was on mute this whole time, dude. I was on mute the whole time. Sorry about that. So, you really remind me of an old friend. Sounds so much like him. Same language, same vision. Very interesting. I hope he was a good friend. It's frustrating to see that, man, because I was long from 90, 95. Well, technically, I was long from down here, but I got out and I got back in. Big selling here. Just got eaten up, though. Look at the absorption on that selling. There's not much to the left, so let's kind of zoom in here. Take a look at this. IB low coming up. It would be nice to see we break the IB low, retest it. I can get it on the retest perhaps. But I like this kind of structure on a breakout. If provided we build more volume. I like to see breakouts look like this. No volume and then a P. That P shape is important. If you start to build volume here, you create a ceiling. You can put your stop somewhere here. Very tight stop. You enter here, and then you're waiting for that continuation. I'm really frustrated with myself. I can't believe I got stopped out. I got stopped out, saw price go against me by maybe what, 10 points, and then reverse like 50. That's what happens when you're trading injured. You know, when you have like a psychological injury because you took a beating all morning and then you made it all back and then some in the afternoon, and then you just start trading like this, like little injured little puppy. I guess sometimes it do be like that though. I think take a scalp trade based off of this right here. This volume around here, midpoint is somewhere within here. Majority of the POC is here at 160. Midpoint's here. So you can go short between 150 and 160. Provided that it doesn't retest and break, you want to see like a quick 15-point scalp. You can do that. Maybe back down to 140. I think back down to 140 is a good target. But you don't want to make it could make another high. It could make a very you could see it try to break higher maybe to 170, 171, but you don't want to see it go higher than that. Maybe that was a scalp. It was that quick 10-point scalp, and I'm holding on for a bit too long. Shite. No, this should pull back. This should pull back from here at the very least. This should pull back like 15, 20 points. Oh, that's disgusting. It's expected though. Low volume, low volume, low volume, and then it comes back down, reverses. It's expected. So that was that attempt. 164. You don't want it to go back above 164. Whoops. Let's do 165. You don't want to see this go back above 165 right now. It's strong though. It might actually, you see the volume being built here? It might actually just push up. Yeah. All right, so I really did make a claim that if we broke the initial balance, we're going to test a high. And I think I still stick by this claim. Another 20 points seems very interesting. This seems like a stretch, but I swear anything's possible. You see it struggle. I want to see it dip first before we go break the highs. Fuck me, man. I'm getting fucked up. I don't think there's anything stopping this train. I don't see any pullback. Big selling here just got eaten up, absorbed. Oh, get out of here. Really? Guys, just do the opposite of what I do, and I think you'll make a lot of money. Midpoint is resistance here, guys. Midpoint is resistance, but this is way too strong of a squeeze for me to think that you could sell right here. Way too strong. You have all of this energy behind you. I'm just fucking disappointed because I had to chase this market to actually get something out of it. You made a one-to-one extension on ES. You could potentially make another one-to-one extension to the opposite side. So, like, where did we open? We opened here. We literally crossed the open, guys. What do you think that is? Like, you crossed the open. You have such a... You open at 172. You sell off about 150 points. And then in a matter of 2 hours, you pretty much undid what you did in like 3.5, 4 hours. So where do you think the next target is? Definitely the highs, guys. Like, you have to be testing highs. People are shorting this. People have already been short. They're just getting stopped out. They're struggling. They're, you know, and it's only 2:30 p.m. I really want to see how far this train can go. This would be very typical Nasdaq, very typical equities to literally break this high up here. Imagine you close this. Imagine. Imagine you get within the value area of yesterday. '83 should be support at this point. You broke it, you come down. This should pick up from 82, 83 and just shoot up. There you go. Let's go, baby. I'm still very upset because like I was long from here, guys. I was long from here, guys. I got stopped out at 85. I got stopped out at 85. I'm holding this like what am I going to call a top right here and I'm going to sell right here? If I want to sell here, I shouldn't sell here because everything I've done, the opposite has happened. So guys, if I want to sell here, just keep buying. That's exactly it, right? Looking for the highs right now is the perfect trap designed to now get new buyers at the high, or maybe all the sellers to flip to buy, then we go back down. Uh, Perhaps. I think it could. I think it could, but I mean, okay, I see your point. Um, but where's everybody stops though? Like all this is a squeeze. This is one massive squeeze by seller. Like buyers are squeezing sellers out. Like above 200, you know how, like all the stops are above 200 right now. All the stops are above the high of the day. Everybody who went short, not just in futures, but in options, in equities, like you're thinking, well, high of the day, right? Why would why would price, like your stops are up here. We crossed the open as well, right? Like we literally reverse 150 points just to cross the open and say, fuck you to every short. Like this is a train you just ride. IB high, baby. I said it. You break the IB low, the chances of the IB high being tested after you do a one-to-one extension is very high. Now there is no volume up here, so that's where I want to get out. I'm getting out. That's it. I'm getting out. You know what? I pussied out on my own I pussied out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I pussied out. After the day I had, just give me the profit. I don't want to see this tag 20, 220 and then come off. I would flip if that happened. Yeah. I would have flipped if I see this tag 220 and I see it come down 20 points in a matter of seconds and I'm still holding at 80. I would have freaked. I would have sold down here for sure. I'm okay getting at the high. Look at that. ES doing a one-to-one extension on the downside, a one-to-one extension on the upside as well. And this is where it could sell off. That's a major fuck you. Oh, ES also, we found some liquidity around here, or it's trying to find liquidity. I think Nasdaq's a bit out of whack. I think ES is the more technical of the two today. You follow ES and you trade Nasdaq that way, I think. But it's crazy though. Like they're both. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm out of. I'm done. I'm like $700 on the day after being down like what 800. I am tired. Trading is hard. Trading is exhausting. It's a lot of physical activity. All this clicking and talking. Yeah. I am very happy I got out up here. There was no. I would have been sweating. I had my order at 80. I would have been sweating to see the market come down like this. And think about everybody else that chased. If they didn't get out here, what do you think they're gonna do now? Like you said, trap buyers actually. Yeah. You're right though. You're right. You're right so far. So far. Let's see though. All I know is I'm done trading. I'm starving. But I'll stay online just for a little bit just to see what happens in the next 20 minutes. Unless I go short. Now hear me out here. Hear me out. What if I go short? 'Yeah, I'm with you there. I typically finish trading by lunchtime, but I should have stuck to my rule and not traded after lunchtime. But I had my charts open and I was looking at it and I was like, fuck it, just it just seemed like the discrepancy between ES and Nasdaq was too good for me to not take that trade at the lows. It was literally at this point that I saw, you know what? Maybe go long. Again, I don't know if you were here when I was explaining this earlier, but like every single time at 1050, we made a low on ES at 1050. At 1050 here, wait, what? Oh yeah, hold on. 1130, so we made this low here on ES at 1050. Nasdaq had made its low at around the same time. It made it new low around the same time. ES rallies, comes off. Just let me delete this. Let me show you what ES rallies, comes off. Okay, actually, let's look at Nasdaq first. Rallies. Here's the rally. This is the rally, right? That's the point. ES, Nasdaq makes a new low here. This is one low. This is the new low in Nasdaq. Look at ES here. Not even close to the low. Nasdaq makes a second new low. ES, no new low. Delete this. Let's go a bit here. This is where I said I gotta buy. Nasdaq making a new low. ES coming up on support. You're thinking, you know what? This is gonna reverse. That's what happened. I don't have a Discord room. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. I'm still. I have. I'm trying to build my website. I'm trying to build my channel. I don't want to just do live streams. I want to do kind of 10, 15-minute videos, instruction. Well, not instructional videos, but like educational videos, kind of like on footprint and stuff. Just kind of want to build it up, and then I'll open up a Discord room. I think managing a Discord room right now will be a bit much, but in due time. Yeah, it was down here. You can only make an assumption though, because you see this a lot. I see this a lot, right? But it doesn't always work out. So you can only make an assumption as to this is what's happening, right? And then you can take your trade based off of that assumption. And it was around these 2 points here, 50 and 60. So I get this little indicator, I get this little diamond when a significant percentage of the volume is hit on the bid or on the ask, right? If it's on the ask, then it's just going to be blue. But you have a significant percentage of the volume that's being hit, and somebody's here with an iceberg. Or because Sierra chart doesn't necessarily detect icebergs, so I have this little study on Sierra chart that can best guess an iceberg order. So it gives you this little indicator over here. So you get all this hitting the bid, right? You come off, you get more hitting the bid between, and you know Nasdaq is not an exact. It's not exact with Nasdaq, right? It's so freaking volatile. Between 60, between 50, you have a lot of buying, and then the volume around it. More absorption, trickles down a little bit, not much selling. And at that point, yeah, it's just my vision. Yeah. More buying. So selling met by buying. And then we came off, which was surprising because I assumed that we would break out from here. I assumed that we would break out from here, but it seems that perhaps this buyer attempted to break out from here, but it seems like they had more in their clip, right? It seems like they had more orders to fill. So you get all this volume down here, and it's barely making new lows. Like it's barely making lows. There's nuance, but if you can see you're there in it, there's no assuming I'm part of it and already have risk managed regardless of what happens. So find the variables and mess with those you take out, assume. Let's delete that from vocabulary. I agree. I agree. I just need to find the variables. I need to find these variables. Like these are the variables. High delta, high absorption. These are the variables. High volume. Like a checklist of all the variables that you kind of tick. Is it the low of the day? Yes. Is there high delta? Yes. Is price struggling to go below? Yes. What do you do? Buy. Yes. Did you buy? Yes, I did. Did you make money? No, I didn't. Why didn't you make money? What are the other variables that came up that didn't make you money? Or if you did make money, what did you do right? What could you have done better? But you know, there's something wrong with me, and I joke about this all the time. But there's something wrong with me that on a down day like today, dude, on a down day like today, there's got to be something wrong with me where I just tried buying on a day like today. I make it so hard for myself trying to catch the lows, to try to catch these moves, when in reality you can see that the right I don't want to say right trade, but in reality you can see that the trade that's more on your side is to just go short. You shorted anywhere. If you shorted down here, you would have made money. You shorted down here, you still would have made a bit of money. But if you're long from here, you're really offside. I need to be able to recognize the short side or the right side and then take that side. Let me pull up. You bring up an interesting point. Hold on. This is the hourly. This is the hourly. Let's see if we can do a... How can I do a point and figure on this, though? No. Forget that. Forget. This won't work. Point and figure is rotation based, not time based. But I think I just need a... Maybe I need a wider rotation? I'll be here tomorrow, man. Thanks so much for joining. I'll take what you said into consideration. I'll try to figure out this point and figure. Maybe I need a... I think point and figure on a 30-minute is also interesting. Not a point and figure, sorry, but a 30-minute footprint is also interesting. I've tested that out before. Might have to put that up. It's just like a volume profile, though, but I see your point. Let's try something like a 100 PNF. No, that doesn't work. This is the 100 PNF, so every 100-point reversal. Maybe do like a 150 PNF. Dude, that is ugly. But it's also pretty interesting because you see once you break out of this is you know what I mean? Like, this is an up bar. You get a down bar that doesn't really break the previous rotation. And when you get this setup, you can either short this for the breakout to the downside, or you buy it and you put yourself somewhere here. But once you break out of this, look at the imbalances that occurred here. Stops all over this area. Interesting stuff, actually. Look at the buy delta, delta, delta. Blue, blue, blue. Hmm. And we created a rotation right off this high, right? We reversed 50 points. We created a new rotation. And the speed at which we created that rotation is also significant. From 220 to 250, that's 30 minutes typically, I think. Yeah, 30 minutes seems about right, really. Interesting stuff. Let's try 30-minute footprint. 30-minute footprint's about the same, right? You're right. All this volume down here. I would say around here, the majority of the volume. It's funny, you attempt to break out, you stop out people, you come back in it, and then all these guys, they get an opportunity to start buying back just so that they can get out of their trade, and you get this massive rally. That's cool stuff. All right, that's it for me. Thanks for joining on the second time around. I'll be back tomorrow morning, same time as usual, 9:30 Eastern. Hopefully it turns out to be a much better day than today, although we ended the day pretty strong. We didn't start it very strong. And now we're just kind of hovering around the highs. Experience tells me that when you reverse the move this high, like when you do a full retracement, let's leave it at this, okay? When you do a full retracement on a move, and you break this retracement, like the probability of you actually breaking the retracement, the higher you go, increases. Simply because if this was a strong enough move, it should have gone lower. But the fact is that you did a full 100% retracement in less time than it took you to actually go down, right? And always look left to the structure. What do you see on the left side? You see a lot of positions over here. And then let me bring out interestingly enough, let me bring out the hourly. Then you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. Here. So this is the hourly. Now, technically speaking, we're still outside of the weekly value area. Okay. We are Thursday, and this is from Sunday. You have all this volume, value areas up here, right? You have this consolidation zone, box, whatever you want to call it, sold off from it, away from it rather. Funny enough, look at this. Today morning, 9:30 we open, rally, sell off. We sell off, we take out all these stops, right? Once we're done taking out majority of these stops, we come right back into this consolidation zone. And the high of this candle is literally the midpoint of this zone right here. I don't include the wicks all the time. I like to do the average of the wick, you know, kind of like somewhere in between, right? Just like eyeball it, right? Stop at the midpoint. Everybody who's trapped here just saw their price, just saw price go down. So for them, they're thinking, you know what, I want to get out of my trade as, you know, as soon as I can. They get a chance to get out of their trade at the midpoint. Typically, the midpoint's really good. And then you have this full capitulation all the way down. And you're thinking at this point, you're thinking that, you know what, we're going to go low, low, low. We're going to go lower, right? Because you don't even know what's to the left of us. You have this point here, but there's not much. This doesn't really like coincide with anything. And then you make a full retracement back here. Do you really think you're going to go short again after you went short the first time over here? I'll leave you guys with that. And we kind of found the high at this low volume node here. It's no coincidence that was where we found our high, around this area where, you know, there's barely any volume. So unless we build more volume here at the top half, quite difficult to see us make higher highs. So we need to see a bit more volume being built, trapping more traders in. And then when you see price kind of curl up to the top end of this, you get a higher probability of us making higher highs from there. Almost 3 o'clock though. We have 1 hour till the session. I don't know if we can actually accomplish that today. Because I think we already hit our target, and our target today was the high, or IB high. What am I doing here? Close this, do this. Cool. I think that was our target. The IB high was our target. Now you have all of this to watch out for. This low volume here, right? Over here, you have all of this to watch out for, so be careful. You start to trickle down. There's nothing holding you, right? Just think about it. Low volume, high volume, right? This is a big P. Technically speaking, you want to be buying here with your stop below, break for the higher. Or if you're looking at, and you see signs of selling coming in, you can very well short this all the way down to around this zone here. Because then what you're going to get, you're going to get some trading here eventually. Might not be now, might not be today, but it'll be eventually. All right, on that note, guys, I am out. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for participating. You are awesome. Seriously, though, thank you guys so much, keeping me company while I trade. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.